Welcome back to The Grind. In this video, we're going to talk about a few strategies that will be able to be used in all fights in Marvel Contest of Champions and will make several fights in particular much easier. We will talk about baiting heavy attacks and special attacks, as well as avoiding champions from using their first special attack and building up to their second one so it's easier to evade. And we'll talk about how to re-parry, which essentially means parrying the second hit of a combo rather than the first attack. The first skill we're going to talk about is baiting a heavy attack, which can be very useful in a lot of situations. Now, the easy way, of course, is to just hold block until they attack you a number of times and then throw a heavy. But then you take a lot of damage, especially in some higher level content where the attack is so high, you take a lot of damage from it, and that's not ideal in longer fights especially. It's important to note that the AI for the defending champions is more likely to throw a heavy attack if you're holding a block nearby them. So if you attack up into their block and then very briefly hold block before they attack back like this, they will prepare oftentimes to throw a heavy and you can back out. This also works by slowly walking up to them and holding block within range so you don't have to attack into them. This is a very effective way of getting a free retaliation when they don't have a bar of power for you to bait out a special. It's very useful for stun immune champions or champions that you can't block. Now, something to be aware of is they sometimes throw regular attacks, so you have to be ready to evade, but then try it again and they might throw a heavy. Black Panther is a good example of a champion you do not want to have to rely on parrying to get your attacks in. So you can do this by attacking into their block and then trying to bait out a special, but be prepared to evade because, as you can see, sometimes it takes several tries. But in the process, you are building up to a bar of power for them so that they will eventually have a special attack which will allow you to retaliate on. And when the heavy bait works, you get a nice, easy, free attack, and then you can bait out special attacks as well. This technique can be a little tedious, but you can get through an entire fight without having to parry the champion, and if you're good enough, you don't have to take any block damage. You can see I did get one hit from block damage, but otherwise I was able to get through this whole fight without parrying and without taking any block damage. Now, I did get some of my combos off intercepts, but a majority of my combos were simply from baiting out heavies and special attacks. Next, we're going to talk about how to bait special attacks, which is probably very common knowledge to a lot of players who have played for a while, but hopefully this will help newer players. Essentially, when the defender has at least one bar of power, they're more likely to throw the special attack if you are exposed, meaning you're not holding a block. So here I released my block and I started moving in, but he didn't throw the special until I moved backwards and I was exposed. And then you have to be ready to dodge the special attack. This is ideal for champions that have easy to evade special 1 attacks, and it allows you to get a lot of free combos in throughout the entire fight without having to take block damage, and especially against champions that cannot be parried. And again, the key is leaving yourself exposed to damage without holding block, but also not attacking into them. You can set yourself up by attacking into a block like with baiting a parry, but then in pausing and pulling backwards, allowing them to throw the special attack as you get out of the way. But sometimes you may have to evade several attacks before they throw the special attack, so you must be prepared to continually evade backwards until they stop their combo or use their special attack. But some champions can't be parried with their first attack of their combo, and their first special attacks are a lot more difficult to evade. So what we're going to talk about next is how to re-parry and how to anti-bait. A re-parry is essentially when you parry the first attack, but it doesn't stun them, so you have to release the block and then apply it again for the second hit. So the first attack, he couldn't be stunned because it was non-contact. Then I released my block and then blocked again for the second hit, landing the parry. This can be used for any champions whose medium attack is non-contact, but the light attack as the second hit of their combo can be parried. If their light attack can be parried, then you can attack up into their block, or when you're close by and they throw an attack, you can just parry it. The anti-bait is when you don't want the champion to use their special 1 attack for various reasons. One reason could be that you don't like evading the first special attack and you think the special 2 attack is a lot easier. Other times it may be related to specific nodes or buffs. The AI is less likely to throw their special attack if you are already blocking. So as soon as you finish your combo, you want to block immediately and then use the Re-Parry option after they attack into you. This will allow you to build them to their special 2 attack, which for a lot of champions will be easier to evade. This skill is particularly important when you're attacking with Dr. Doom because you want to build them up to their full 3 bars of power. So once they're over the 1 bar of power threshold, you always want to end your combo by holding a block so that they are less likely to use their special attacks. You can then continue to re-parry until you build them up to 3 or close to 3 bars of power, and then use your 3rd special attack to go into the special Dr. Doom combo. And I will likely make a Dr. Doom video in the near future. But I hope this video was helpful to learn some key techniques that will likely make your fights in Marvel Contest of Champions a lot easier. And let me know if there's some differences that you do or if something that you learned today was new. I would really appreciate some feedback in the comments section, and I will see you in the next video.